having the opportunity for kids to get into flow, to get into really deep concentration. There are more than one thing is needed for that to happen, but there is one thing that if it is missing, it absolutely cannot happen. It is freedom. If your class does not permit freedom, you will never have children working in flow, because you cannot construct it for them. You cannot figure out what interest is going to spark that feeling for them. You cannot know how long it will last or should last. So the freedom to choose what you're doing, where you're doing it, who you're doing it with, in many cases how you're going to do it, and how long you're going to do it. If those freedoms are not there, you will never have that. I think too that one important thing that goes with a lot of these situations is helping the children recognize that oftentimes what they say and how they say it sends a message that's not what they meant to send. And that's, talk about a life lesson. I mean, talk about things you've said to people that you thought they were just going to say thank you, when they left and,
That's the proverbial toothpaste in the tube,
Yeah.
You can't stuff it back in once you squeeze it out. And
one example is my son Dante was, the graduates all present like a 2 to 3 minute speech about what their time at the school meant to them and what they learned and what they're taking with them. Anyway, he was saying, he just told me a little part of it before he did it at the presentation, but he said, I'm not just a staff kid, I am the staff kid. Now I knew what he meant. I was thinking about that particular part that you mentioned to me, and I was wondering if you were trying to say that you're the most important staff kid. Were you trying to say you're the most important staff kid? No, I'm not saying I'm the most important staff kid. I'm just saying I have 2 aunts and an uncle and a mom and a dad and a grandma and a grandpa. Said, I thought that's what you were intending to say. So if you're going to say I am the staff kid, if you want people to understand that, you're going to have to add that detail of because I have all these other people at the school. Otherwise, this is what's going to be heard, even though it's not what you're trying to say. And that kind of thing, I think, happens a lot of times in conversation in the class. And so if we go back even to the example of the kid who's raising his hand constantly, I might stop later with that child, not even right at the end, but just to say, there's a boy in the class who's just smart as a whip. He twitches at every lesson because he's so excited. But to say to him later, do you know part of what happens when you raise your hand every time is 2 messages are sent. One is that you're enthusiastic, that you love learning, and that you're excited about what's happening. What do you think about those messages? Oh, that's great. Yes. But because you meet with the same people day after day after day, the other message that's sent is that you don't care whether they get an opportunity to say anything because you're just so excited about what you have to say. And I don't think that you actually want to send that message. Do you want to send that message? No. Then what you want to try to start doing is tempering your enthusiasm. And I think the word tempering is also a very important vocabulary because it comes into all of them. You have to temper your enthusiasm, you have to temper your temper again. We always address children who have the nervous smile when they're in trouble. Listen, that was not appropriate, what happened there. Again, it's just they're not intending, but anybody else is going to read that. It's just, just an utter lack of respect for what you're saying. And so again, address that. Right now you're smiling. And are you happy right now? Is this funny? I mean, are you feeling like it's fun? No, I didn't think so. I think you're just nervous. And sometimes when you're nervous, you smile a little bit. But I just want to say, in situations like that, you're going to send a message that's going to make your life difficult.
And we know you, so we know you're smiling. But there's going to be people who don't know you.
I know why that you're nervous.
Yeah, and so we just want to let you know that that's the message that you're sending with that look.
How to sit at a lesson. All those little details. You can't let kids sit at lessons like this.
It's so important.
You can't let kids sit and bite their nails during lessons. You can't let them sit and scribble during lessons. No. You're at a lesson, sit up, put your things down.
That's
put
not
your
part of the
hands on your
freedom,
lap.
folks. It's not part of the freedom. I mean, there's certain symbols and for respect. And when somebody is doing this in a lesson and doing this and turned around and sitting on their feet, what I'm saying is just, attentiveness. Just show me that you're paying attention. Show me as well as they can, and that's for you to decide.